you're looking to dive into topics on how to live a happier, healthier, more fit, and long lifespan, then you've come to the right podcast. Livin the Dream with me, Coach Damian Evans. Together, we will explore the topics on all things health, fitness, and wellness. Together, we will be lifelong learners on this journey to living the ultimate dream. What up, Dream Team? Coach D here, coming at you from beautiful sunny San Diego, and welcome back to the Livin the Dream Podcast, where we climb up this hump day hill to explore total wellness in order for us to reach for our goals, in order for you to live your dream life. And today I wanted to share an article from author Michael Easter in his 2% newsletter. Did you know that most people actually run incorrectly? That's right. Improper form and technique can lead to a whole host of problems, from nagging injuries to decreased performance. Ever wonder how to become a better runner? Well, get ready to lace up your shoes and hit the pavement, because on this week's Wellness Wednesday episode, we're diving deep into the science-backed secrets of improving your running game. And author Michael Easter, he brings us the scoop from his newsletter, The New Science of Running Better. And spoiler alert, it's not as complicated as you think. So tune in. We're going to talk about insider tips from a massive study on running efficiency. We're going to say goodbye to outdated running advice. We're debunking the myths. We're going to talk about 3 game-changing tactics to help you run further, faster, and with less effort. Plus, we're dishing out some practical drills at the end and some exercises that can help level up your running game. So don't let poor running habits hold you back. We're going to talk about the secrets to efficient, injury-free running and learn how to unleash your full potential on the pavement. So let's talk about the new science of running better. A giant new study discovers 3 techniques that help you run further, faster. In his newsletter, author Michael Easter, he talks about a story that got him into running, and I just wanted to share what he wrote here. So he said, "For the first 3 decades of my life, my approach to running was to run like the cops were chasing me, always at full tilt, no thought on form or technique or anything like that. And after an inevitable injury, he realized that this all gas, no brakes approach probably wasn't ideal. But he faced a vast improvement hurdle. Information on how to improve as a runner was a swamp of runner speak that didn't make any sense to him. Running books and articles gave him an obscure list of things that he could do to run better, and he was told to switch from heel striking to forefoot or midfoot striking, to work on ground contact time, or how long the feet were in contact with the ground. Improve the flight time, the time neither foot was in contact with the ground. Alter the swing time, which is apparently just like flight time, but only for one leg. Use a minimalist shoe, and to think deeply about something called duty factor, which is defined as the ratio of stance time relative to step time. This was overwhelming and impractical. Implementing all the advice felt more exhausting than the actual run itself. The good news is that he was able to rehab, he was able to get back to running, and he was able to improve as a runner, and it wasn't as complicated as you might think. He just stumbled upon a giant new study. This study not only found that all of the technical stuff that he just talked about didn't matter, but it also discovered what did matter. An international team of researchers pulled together data from 51 different studies on running efficiency. Now, running efficiency is a simple way of measuring the energy that it takes to run at a given speed. Better efficiency means that you'll run faster and further with less effort. And if you become a better runner, your fitness goes up. And when your fitness goes up, you feel better and you move yourself farther away from any type of chronic disease or death. And that is a win-win for everyone. Okay, so the 3 laws of efficient running are to shorten your strides, don't bounce, and add plyometrics into your weight training routine. So we're going to go into deep on those 3. The scientists found that each of these 3 biomechanical variables, think of them as form and fitness traits. These can explain 4 to 12% of running economy when considered in isolation. But they wrote, This magnitude potentially increases when you combine all three different variables. In other words, you're going to get more considerable boost if you combine the three things that we talk about. Number one, shorten your strides. The study found that taking more strides to cover a distance improved running efficiency. For example, taking 1,600 strides to cover a mile instead of 1,400, and 1,600 would be better. Here's why more strides leads to gains. It's kind of counterintuitive. When you take fewer strides across a given distance, you have to take a longer stride. These longer strides can lead you to brake harder as you land, sapping your energy. And because you've braked harder, you have to re-accelerate from that braking. So you're constantly braking, gas pedal, and you do that over every single step. The scientists wrote that this involves energetically expensive contractions, concentric contractions, and is an important component of the metabolic cost of running. In other words, longer strides use more gas to cover the same distance. But here's the thing, most runners naturally use a step frequency that is, the lead scientist said, below their mathematical optimum frequency. And that's just scientists speak for, you probably are taking too long of strides. The fix, take shorter strides as you run. That will likely improve your running over time. A practical way to shorten your strides is to time your strides to upbeat music. That is 180 beats per minute music. So one study found that the average recreational runner takes about 165 strides per minute, which leads to longer strides, which leads to more brake, more reacceleration, more brake. Researchers in the Netherlands had runners time their strides to music that was 180 beats per minute. The trick led to runners that they actually improved their stride frequency by nearly 10% and ran more efficiently. The effect remained even if the runners didn't listen to the music. After they stopped listening to the music, you can find plenty of 180 beats per minute songs through Spotify, Google, iTunes. They actually have songs that have 180 beats per minute in their title. So shorten your strides. Very interesting. Number two, move forward, not upward. Running isn't jumping, but the more we make it like jumping, the worse our running becomes. The study found that high vertical oscillation saps running efficiency. Vertical oscillation is the amount of vertical motion or bounce in your running. The scientists explained from a mechanical perspective, higher vertical oscillation will contribute to greater work needing to be performed against gravity, and thus a greater energetic demand being placed on the runner. In other words, more vertical oscillation wastes energy moving you up and down when your goal is to be moving forward. The scientists noted two ways to help lessen vertical oscillation. Number one, follow the advice above about shortening your strides. The scientists wrote higher stride frequency likely reduces vertical oscillation. Okay, cool, check. Number two, use shoes with less cushioning. Oof, the more cushion a shoe has, the more likely you are to use it as a mini trampoline, as a crutch. Of course, you'll need to balance out comfort and speed. You can't just go from running in these big soled Hokas or whatever you're running in these days to barefoot shoes. That would be a recipe for disaster. Just like if you were to start squatting 100 pounds after not squatting anything, your knees would probably be like, heck no, man, what are you doing? You are not ready for this load. You have not trained yourself to be ready for this type of intensity. So we've done episodes on barefoot shoes. We've done episodes on how to train your body to get to be wearing more minimalist shoes, but it's really simple. Just start slow, start small. And the more you can run barefoot on maybe grass can train you to be able to then run on harder surfaces like pavement or concrete. Also, in this article, he has a shoe guide for everything that you may need to know about running shoes. I'll include that link in the description of this episode if you want to check out that link. You might also decide that you're okay with a little bit of bounce if the shoes are comfortable, But if you're racing, you may want something a little less bouncy. So this is like, how serious do you really want to be? If you're a recreational runner and you're just running for fitness, maybe it's okay to have a little bit more cushion. But if you're trying to be as efficient as possible and you're trying to get as best times as you can as possible, it looks like finding something less bouncy is the goal. And then, of course, training yourself to be able to earn your way to get there. And then number 3, do explosive exercises. Yeah, plyometrics. The study found that people with more intermuscular coordination were more efficient runners. Intermuscular coordination is basically just how your muscles work together to move and stabilize your body and your joints. The best way to build it is with explosive total body exercises that require your muscles to exert a lot of force in a very short period of time. And you want to pick moves that will help you transfer this energy to move forward. So jumps, running drills, and ballistic exercises, that's what we're looking for here. So here are a few that you can add into your routine a couple times a week. Bonus, they'll also improve your outdoor injury resistance. The first exercise is called a side-to-side hop. In order to do a side-to-side hop, all you have to do is you're standing on the ground and pretend that there's a line on the ground, and you're going to jump laterally, side to side, left and right over this line. And you're going to do it light on the feet, on the balls of the feet, like you're jumping over the line for speed. I think I've called this in group fitness exercises before, like ski jumps, like you're ski jumping over this line side to side. You can do a couple sets of 10 to 20 reps. And then if you get good with both feet, try to do this with a single leg. You want to get to where you're doing these explosive moves on a single leg, because that's what running is. You're on a single leg for most of the time. So side to side hops is exercise 1, a couple sets of 10 to 20 reps, do it a few times a week. Another movement here is a single leg box jump rebound. Now it sounds scary and it sounds really hard, but what it is you just take a slight elevation, 6 inches, sometimes those little step boxes that you see in the step classes like the Jane Fonda classes, or you could use a very small curb. Just make sure that you're ready for this. And then start with 2 legs, and all you're going to do is you're going to hop up on the surface and you're going to hop down, hop up, hop down, hop up, and try to get as little amount of contact time as you can with the floor. As soon as you come down to the ground, you're right back up on the bench. And as soon as you get on the bench, you go right back down. And so you're trying to do this with a little bit more ballistic, explosive, plyometric movement here. Once you can do it on 2 legs and you feel good, this is where you really want to try to get it to 1 leg. Maybe you have to shorten the distance to 3 or 4 inches and not quite hop up as high. But if you can get a single leg or box rebound jump, oh my gosh, this is perfect for running. This is also one that helped a lot of people that I know bulletproof their ankles and their knees and help against ankle rolls. So you just got to be really careful when you jump down from the box. I have seen people roll their ankles. People do this off of curbs when they're running all the time, but this does help to bulletproof your ankles. So do a couple sets of 10 to 20 reps on each leg. Try to hit that a few times a week. And then the last exercise that I really recommend is the standard skip. Skips, yeah. Plus, it's really hard to skip and not smile, so it's also fun at the same time. Be explosive here. Your goal is to use your energy to get up into the air and then land softly, and try to land as quietly as possible. Anytime you're doing ballistic, plyometric jumping exercises, your goal is to land soft to minimize the impact through the joints. Also, when you do your skipping, you want to make sure that you're doing it on a softer surface to start, and then you can get into some more like harder concrete type of things to train you for. But think about it, a skip, it looks a whole lot like running, just a lot more flamboyant, a lot more fun, a lot more bouncy. But yes, the standard skip, do a couple of sets, 10 to 20 reps on each leg. Maybe stack all 3 of these together in a little jumping workout and see how things may change for you. Give it a shot. Try these 3 laws of efficient running: shortening your strides, moving forward, not upward, and then doing explosive exercises to train yourself for running. Let me know how it works for you. And that's it, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me on this Wellness Wednesday episode of the Livin the Dream Podcast. Please share the knowledge that you gain with your friends and family and hold each other accountable. If you enjoyed this content, it helps a ton. If you could post a screenshot of this episode on your social media stories with one takeaway that you learned, it really is a non-cost way to support this episode. And if you could leave a review on whatever platform you're listening to, it really helps to get this podcast into other people's hands. So I appreciate it. Make sure you tag me and share your journey. Tag me at Livin the Dream _podcast or at Coach Damien _SD. And let us know how this episode benefited you. Let us know what we missed. Let us know what we got wrong. Tell us how you have improved your running mechanics. We want to know. Message us with any suggestions or tips that would help your Livin the Dream team, topics that we can discuss on future episodes. I will be right here with you working on making us stronger, happier, and healthier humans. Until next time, friends, keep living the dream.